Welcome to Making a Difference. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Dan Edelman. I'm here with Eric Spottswood of Prosperity Home Mortgage.
Yes, sir.
Eric, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Tell me a little bit about what Prosperity Home Mortgage is doing in the community.
So the baseline of what we do obviously is mortgage lending. So one of my favorite stories, I have my daughter who's about to be 10 years old now. And when we were at my house, someone was talking to her when she was about 4. And they said, "What does your dad do?" Which I thought was an interesting question for a 4-year-old.
Yes.
And
no telling what was going to come out of her mouth.
So I immediately stopped my conversation to listen in. And her response was, "My dad helps people live in homes who want to live in homes."
Oh, how
and
sweet.
that just, if I could make that my ringtone or bottle it up and have it every morning, I'd do it. And that's what I look at as the core baseline of what we do. We're trying to do everything we can to make home ownership as inclusive and as broad a reach as possible. We try and do that with an expansive set of different programs, whether it be bond programs or down payment assistance. We want to make sure that everyone can achieve that American dream, home ownership. So that's the core baseline of what we do. But we also like to get back out and give to the community as well. Anything we could do to make an impact on the environment and the people around us is we also look at as part of our core function.
Well, just for a minute, I know, with interest rates being up, a lot of people think that they can't get into a home.
Sure.
I'm sure you're dealing with that question all the time. What do you recommend to people under the current environment?
The best thing to do is talk to a trusted advisor. I think one of the biggest things, when people talk to me today about what is the biggest hurdle in the market today, my answer is always perception. There's a lot of news that comes out and very little of it is positive. And not even just about mortgage lending. There's a lot of clickbait that's out there. There's a lot of fear out there in media today. So one of the things that I look at as one of my core responsibilities is making sure I educate people. Is home ownership right for everybody right now? It's not. I've said the same thing for 22 years in being in this industry. The right decision is the one that you sleep best at night with. So the right decision for everybody isn't buying a home, but some people aren't buying it because of what they hear in the news. So I want to make sure that they know that there are options out there. There's a lot of myths that exist around mortgage lending that stop people from going to buy a home. Do I need 20% down? I don't need 20% down. We do loans with 0% down. Do I have to have perfect credit? No, you can have credit down in the 500s and still be able to get into a home. There's a lot of different options. There's a lot of real creative lending that you can do out there. There are programs that we have today. You'll hear them commonly in the industry called buy-down programs. So you have a 2-1 buy-down where you look at the interest rate today at 8%, and it might not be that appealing. Well, this program gets you in the first year at 6%, the second year at 7%, and then the third year at 8%. In that time, most people are projecting that the market's going to rebound. Rates are going to come back down. You have an opportunity to refinance. So you buy the home that you love, maybe at the interest rate that you don't, and then you're refinancing, set yourself up in the long term for a really great situation.
And your company and you obviously are helping people get into homes, just like your daughter said, but you're doing other things in the community to make a difference as well. Why don't you talk a little bit about what your company's doing to help the community be a better place?
Absolutely. And amongst my team, I call those the fill your cup moments. We do what we do, and I'm absolutely passionate about mortgage lending. I love it. But the ability to get out there in the community and do different things really moves the needle a lot. So our company is owned by Berkshire Hathaway. So our connection with them, we're able to be part of some great volunteer opportunities. They have a great connection with Dreams Come True, a local charity that gives to children with illness. And they support them. I think they're their #1 supporter here in Northeast Florida. So we actually just did a 5K for them just recently. We hosted a golf tournament with all the proceeds going over to Dreams Come True. They have a great relationship with Pine Castle, and Pine Castle, an amazing facility.
Yep.
They each year do the luminaries, where they sell luminaries in all the Berkshire Hathaway offices, with those proceeds going to Pine Castle. But outside of that, we also do separate events. We were part of the Pine Castle Luncheon just recently to make sure that we were doing some fundraising for that event. Also spent a day there doing some volunteerism. We spent a day with the 5-Star Veterans Center, an absolutely incredible facility that takes in veterans that may have PTSD or have maybe substance issues, have an amazing rehabilitation program to put them back on the streets. And we've also spent some time with Feeding Northeast Florida to just make sure we're getting back out in the community. So we love what we do. But having those fill your cup kind of moments and getting out there in the market to make a difference in the community is 100% part of our passion as well.
Well, Eric, thank you for what you're doing to help people in the community, both with the mortgages and with the nonprofit. We appreciate that. For you at home, thank you for joining us today on Making a Difference. I'm your host, Dan Edelman, with Eric Spottswood of Prosperity Home Mortgage. Thank you.